I feel really overwhelmed by the amount of content that we have, that I have today. I'm overwhelmed. There's so many podcasts I could be listening to, so many articles on Medium that I want to read. I think I bookmarked over 70, probably 70 articles that I will never read. I see them and then I save them and then they're there. And the same with videos, the same with Substack newsletters. How many? Like sometimes someone subscribes to my newsletter, and I see this person has also subscribed to like 25 other newsletters, and I'm like, how will this person manage to? What does the inbox, his or her inbox, look like? So I am not listening to any podcasts anymore. I haven't listened to a full episode in, I don't know, probably 2 months. And this week I was reading a book. I was there in my living room. I was reading this book, The Letters of Vincent van Gogh. I'm going to pronounce it like Italians pronounce it, Van Gogh. I know it's not the right way. And I looked at the page. I mean, look how boring this is. Look at how boring a book is. Not is. Look how boring it looks like. It's just there's nothing. It's not colorful. There's nothing to click. You cannot chat with anyone when you're reading a book. And yet it offers you, as I said in a post that I posted this week, it offers you more mental stimulation that you need on any given day. There's so much in a book that, you wouldn't need anything else to reflect on or to entertain yourself. Maybe books are not for everyone. I know plenty of people who don't read because they don't find them interesting, but I suspect we don't find them interesting because of the way they look, because of just words, just text, and also because it's hard to stay focused on for more than maybe even 5 minutes. And myself included, when I'm reading a book, I feel pulled, like I feel this invisible force that pulls me towards my phone. And I'm like, I need to keep the phone. If I keep the phone next to me, I immediately, not immediately, but I pick it up and I check something. I just click on something. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe I check my, if someone commented on one of my videos. I don't know. It's just an invisible force. If I keep the phone in another room, like I did yesterday, you can go on reading for more than 5 minutes, guaranteed. But this was not the point. Like the point is not, keep the phone away. First of all, because I don't think today having a flip phone, a dumb phone, something that one of those phones from the 90s or the early 2000s, I don't think it's possible. Society, the way we've built it, not society, but the way we've built the system with apps and payments and emails and all this, it's not possible anymore. At least in my life, I cannot see myself with a flip phone, especially because my partner, my girlfriend Haloa, she said to me, I need to know that if I send you a message on WhatsApp, you'll respond. You'll respond to me. Like, we need this. But one part of me thinks, well, but if you need me, you can call me, right? or you can send me a text. But okay, I'm not here to say, well, we need to buy a flip phone and forget about smartphones, mostly because I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it, especially when you travel, when you're not at home. But I said before that I'm not listening to podcasts, and I'm not even listening to the radio anymore when I'm driving. I'm trying hard, really, to spend more time with my own thoughts. It's something that I talked about it before. It's something that I recorded an episode with Carrie Sackville from Australia. She wrote this beautiful book called The Secret Life of You, where she talks about spending more time with your own thoughts. And maybe, because I've listened to so many podcasts in my life, podcast episodes, and sometimes when I listen to a podcast, I get ideas. I get ideas because I'm like, oh, nice, interesting idea. Or, they make you think about something you've never thought about before. And because of this, I feel, okay, because I had this great idea, I need to listen to one more podcast so I can have another great idea, or I can get to know something I didn't know before. And that's why I became a fan of podcasts. But lately, I'm like, I get ideas when I am alone with my thoughts. Just cultivate this. And this goes against my own interests because I make content. Someone made a comment on one of my videos, that video with Carrie Sackville, because the title of the video was Consume Less Content. And someone below made a comment and said, well, make less content then. But I don't think this is the point. I don't think that content creators, YouTubers, or people who write, they should make less content. Because, and this is what I replied to that viewer, that the point is not making less content. It's like saying, okay, there are so many obese people in the world, so we should make less pizza, or we should make less food. This is not how it works. We should be responsible ourselves on, know where the limit is, know how to set boundaries. And I feel that before I wasn't really setting any boundaries, and actually didn't need any boundaries because I enjoyed listening to podcasts. But now I only I only watch a video on YouTube in the morning, mostly about politics, things that are happening now in the world, because, there's happening quite a lot now in the world. Opinions about politics, and that's it. And I listen to one podcast episode on when I'm cleaning the house at the weekend. When I'm driving, the radio is off, and I like talking to myself. I know it sounds crazy, but I like talking to myself and just having conversations like I'm not having a conversation with you now, but I'm just talking about things like solving problems aloud. Like someone said this to me, and I replied, I was angry, and I just talk it through as if I was talking to someone, but I'm talking to myself. And I find it useful. Sometimes I get a brilliant idea. Sometimes it's just, a way to get to know myself more, like aloud journaling, we could call it. And sometimes it's I just shut up after 1 minute and I say nothing. I get bored of my voice, basically. But the point is, I started this video by saying there's so much content. I'm not saying consume less content, but maybe the way I'm feeling now with all this, everything that comes into my inbox, everything that I see on YouTube, like every time I'm on YouTube, I could spend 3 hours on YouTube easily, because every video leads me to another, and then another, and then another. And is this good? Is this good? When am I going to reflect on what I see? When am I going to actually thinking about absorbing what I'm watching, what I'm learning? A good strategy may be to focus on only one thing. So only watch one video about one single topic. Like, you want to improve your writing, only watch videos about writing. You want to improve, you want to learn how to, I don't know, make paintings, so you focus on one skill. And it could work. I've never tried it, because it's also, I think it's hard to stay focused on only one thing. Like, we are human beings. We have different interests. But if you feel overwhelmed, like I am feeling now, maybe switch it off completely. Switch off this video now. Turn it off. And, you're not going to miss any, life-changing ideas, or it's just a way to spend more time with yourself. I don't know if this is a totally unplanned ramble. Like, my notes here, you can see overwhelmed, and book about Van Gogh. That was my plan for this video. And it's also a nice way for me to, to just speak into the camera and maybe say something useful. All right, books. Yeah, I want to end with this, because I've got this book next to me. I talked about in my newsletter, I don't know if I said that already, books is like, I will never get tired of reading books, because I know that I'm there. I know that I'm doing the right thing. I don't know. I feel that if I'm reading a book, I'm doing the right thing all the time. Like, it's not time wasted. It's not something, that I should feel ashamed of. Whereas if I spent 3 hours on YouTube, I would feel guilty. Part of me will feel guilty, because I don't know why. Maybe because books are, this sacred intellectual tool that we have that many people don't use anymore. Many people in my family don't read more than a book or a couple of books a year. And it's a way to be in a quiet environment with your mind, with getting to know the mind of the author who's written the book. It's fascinating. Like, it's really fascinating. And no two people have read the same book. Also, this is a great point, like an advantage of reading books. Like, the ideas that are written in this book, I will absorb it. I will understand what you will not understand, and vice versa. So, books, I've got so many. My to be read list that also that is frustrating. Like, I will never get to read all of those books, but I keep adding them to my list, and I go back to that list. Whereas I don't go back to the list of articles I've saved on Medium. Also, because if you work in front of a screen, you want to get out. You want to do something in the real world. You don't want to spend another hour reading on a screen. Okay, I don't know if this is helpful. It's been helpful to me. Probably I've contradicted myself a couple of times during this video. So what am I saying? Am I saying not to watch movies anymore or to watch videos? No, I'm not saying that. So let me be clear. If you feel overwhelmed, spend more time. Spend more time with your own thoughts. You will get creative ideas. You will get creative thoughts like I have. Like when I came up with the little idea for my tiny book, it was while I was running. And I don't remember if I was listening to a podcast though. Probably I was. All right. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.